Driving is dangerous no matter where you are in the world. Around 1.35 million global deaths are caused by road accidents each year. Still, there's no denying that some roads are more dangerous than others. Sometimes, this is the result of poor infrastructure or planning. Other dangers are of a more geographic nature, like landslides, steepness, and sharp curves. These roads are often branded as the world's most dangerous. A few even have the word death in their moniker, and in today's episode of The Most Dangerous Roads on Earth, we will be unveiling 5 of the most dangerous roads that exist on Earth, shall we? Yeah, let's go. 1. Interstate 45 Road. The United States suffers 33,244 fatal car crashes every year, so it isn't shocking that one of its roads would come up on this list. But not many would expect the country's most dangerous road to be I-45 in Texas. Interstate 45 is a major interstate highway located entirely within the U.S. state of Texas. While most interstate routes which have numbers ending in 5 are cross-country north-south routes, I-45 is comparatively short, with the entire route located in Texas. Additionally, it has the shortest length of all the interstates that end in a 5. It connects the cities of Dallas and Houston, continuing southeast from Houston to Galveston over the Galveston Causeway to the Gulf of Mexico. This relatively short road, for the U.S., connects Galveston to Dallas by way of Houston. Passing through 2 of the state's most important cities has made the road prone to accidents. About 56.5 fatal crashes happen every 100 miles. Between 2011 and 2015, there were 83 recorded deaths or 20.75 fatalities per year. Most accidents happen in the Houston area and are attributed to the constant congestion of the highway. There is also an issue with drunk drivers, with 17.5 drunk driving deaths per 100 miles. The situation has become so dire that Harris County is suing the state's transportation department in an attempt to stop the highway from being expanded. 2. The Karakoram Highway. The Karakoram Highway, known by its initials KKH, also known as N35 or National Highway 35 or the China-Pakistan Friendship Highway, is a 1,300 kilometers (810 miles) national highway that extends from Hassan Abdul in the Punjab province of Pakistan to the Kunjarab Pass in Gilgit-Baltistan, where it crosses into China and becomes China National Highway 314. Do not attempt this road with a car that does not perform well in the elements. The road is extremely treacherous and requires a vehicle that can hold its own against some of the most unforgiving terrains in the world. Drive with care, as this is a mountain road with hairpin curves and potential steep falls of hundreds of meters on the left side and a very unstable mountain with a high risk of rock falls, especially when raining, on the right side. With absolutely no barrier on one side and sheer rock wall on the other, the margin of driver error is fairly slim. To make matters worse, the area is prone to floods and landslides. Though it's a popular tourist destination, some have referred to it as the 8th world wonder. The highway sees frequent fatalities. In October, 17 people were killed when a bus tumbled into a gorge after the driver took a sharp turn along the highway. A month earlier, a tourist was killed in a landslide that hit her van. Incidents like these have occurred since the road was first built in 1959. Roughly 1,000 workers were killed during the highway's construction due to blasts or landslides. 3. The Death Road. Are you a fan of great heights and narrow roads? At just 3.5 meters wide, and with no guardrails, the Yungas Road is a cycle route about 60 kilometers long that links the city of La Paz and the Yungas region of Bolivia. It draws about 25,000 tourists per year, and is a major La Paz tourist attraction. The North Yungas Road, nicknamed Death Road, frequently earns the title of the world's most dangerous highway. At just 12 feet wide, the road carves a narrow stretch into the Cordillera Oriental mountain in Bolivia, which is often shrouded in rain and fog. One wrong turn could send travelers plummeting anywhere from 4,000 to 15,000 feet to the ground. Many of the sections are unpaved and lack guardrails, creating an added danger for both vehicles and cyclists. Besides the steepness, the road was built in the 1930s on a cliffside. This means that infrastructure is outdated on stretches of it, which are unpaved and do not have guardrails. Cars can easily veer off the road, facing an incredibly high fall. The narrowness of the road doesn't help much either. And to make matters worse, heavy rains can create mudslides and landslides. During the 1990s, it was estimated that about 200 to 300 people died on this road each year. Until 2006, Yungas Road was the only option for traveling from Coroico to La Paz. Fortunately, the worst part of the road has now been bypassed by a 2-lane paved road, so vehicle traffic on the road has diminished. But cyclists still challenge the road of death, some dying in the process. Incidentally, the South Yungas Road to Cochabamba is considered almost as dangerous. 4. The No Mistake Tunnel. Keen to visit one of the most remote villages in the world? When the Chinese government decided it wasn't worth the trouble and expense to make a road that would be used by only 300 villagers, 13 of those villagers decided to build a 0.8-mile tunnel through the solid rock of a vertical cliff. Located in the Taihang Mountains in the province of Hunan, the villagers used explosives to blow their way through this vertiginous cliff. Lacking road building experience, some villagers died in accidents. Traveling on this road is only for the very brave. The Guolian Tunnel is short but dangerous. At only 5.4 meters high and 3.5 meters wide, the road barely allows for 2 cars to pass each other. Due to how it was built, it is unclear how structurally sound it is. Trenches and rockfalls are common. The tunnel is extremely narrow, fitting about a single car in its only lane, and has no guardrails or barriers in some sections. This is particularly worrisome given the very steep drop that drivers face. For light, the tunnel relies on 30 windows carved onto the tunnel. The natural light is helpful but makes it basically impossible to drive at night. All of these factors combine to cause several accidents and deaths every year. More than 400 accidents have been recorded since 1992. Locals now refer to it as the road that does not tolerate mistakes. Many people are killed every year, so many that the locals lost count. 5. Kolyma Highway and Lena Highway, the Road of Bones. Traveling through Siberia is always a challenge. Nicknamed the Road of Bones, this Siberian road from Magadan to Never meanders its way through one of the coldest regions in the world. It is a combination of 2 highways, the IR-504 Kolyma Highway and the IR-360 Lena Highway, both of which are subject to the same dangers, though the IR-504 is better maintained. The highways are joined by the Lena River Ice Road, which is exactly what it sounds like, a road across the river that is open yearly from December through April, when the ice is frozen enough to drive on. Or so one hopes. Sadly, dozens lose their lives each year when their vehicles fall through the ice. The main risks along the road are death by car accidents due to unsafe driving, bad roads, unmaintained vehicles, and large trucks can throw up enormous clouds of dust in dry weather, which can easily hide an oncoming vehicle. Maps are generally out of date. Bears and other wildlife are also a hazard. The preferred time to travel on the road is in winter, when the ground and water are frozen, making travel somewhat easier, though you still have heavy snow, ice, and extremely low visibility to contend with. But during July and August, when it tends to rain a lot, the road becomes a monstrous quagmire, leading to traffic jams miles long. Only the most rugged 4x4 vehicles can manage this muddy beast. To make matters even worse, people get so bored during these traffic jams that they've been known to rob each other to pass the time.